The activities of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu are just like an unfathomable ocean. It is not possible for me to enter into them, but simply standing on the shore I am but touching the water. Whoever hears the pastimes of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu with faith, analytically studying them, attains the ecstatic riches of love of Godhead. We believe that this description of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu's pastimes also holds true for the activities of Srila Prabhupada, the great Acharya, spiritual teacher and disciplic succession from Lord Chaitanya, who created the world movement of Krishna consciousness, beginning in America in the 1960s. We know that just as one worships the Ganges River by an offering of Ganges water, we can glorify Srila Prabhupada only by his own mercy. Since we are his disciples, his mercy is all we are made of. We proceed then in this attempt, desiring to describe him for the benefit of all who can hear. We have begun our research and writing with the last 12 years of his life in this world, from 1965 when he began preaching in the West through 1977. Since his personal letters from this period are the most abundant and his associates the most numerous and available, we have chosen to begin our work with these most important years. When the biography is complete, of course, it will start with his birth in Calcutta in 1896 and describe his early training under his Vaishnava Krishna conscious father, from whom he learned to worship the deity of Radha Krishna and hold the Rath Yatra festival. We shall then recount in detail his meeting in 1922 with his spiritual master, Srila Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Goswami, who instructed him to go preach in the West after his spiritual master's departure from this world in 1936. Srila Prabhupada started Back to Godhead magazine in 1944 and left home in 1950 to dedicate himself fully to his spiritual master's mission. Then he went to live in Vrindavan and took sannyas initiation in 1959. From 1960 to 1965, Srila Prabhupada stayed at the historic Radha Damodara temple in Vrindavan, where he lived in 2 small rooms. There he wrote and published 3 volumes of his translation and commentary of Srimad Bhagavatam. By correspondence, he also tried to create interest in a world movement of Krishna consciousness, although he received little response from the various gentlemen he approached. Then in 1965, just before he turned 70, an age when most devotees of Krishna are confined to Vrindavan and preparing to pass away, Srila Prabhupada took the risk of going to the West. A Mr. Agarwal in nearby Mathura had a son who agreed to sponsor Srila Prabhupada at his home in Butler, Pennsylvania for 1 month. And Sumati Maharaji, the head of the Scindia Steamship Company, agreed to give him free round-trip passage to America on one of her cargo ships. But he had to travel without money since governmental restriction prevented him from taking money out of the country. His prospects, therefore, were full of uncertainty. He had only a month's residence in the United States. He would be living with strangers, and he had no money and no formulated plan for what to do in America. But he was thoroughly convinced of the potency of his spiritual master's instructions.